Ah, I got a damage buff, which is actually kind of useful for this. I don't know what. It seems the mastery buff actually helped me there. Why? I have no idea. I'll kill this guy. I know I'm being attacked by the podling. I was just gonna not do anything about it for a second, but may as well kill it. Really don't care about the wasp right now. I just want to find more guardians. Not really enough infested orcs here, to be honest. Makes farming for the thing take a little while. Really, I probably shouldn't call it farming. I'm just running around killing a few infested orcs. It's it's a wee bit different than farming for something, which requires you to kill a lot more. Typically, at least. What is that? A monk. Well, blood elf monk. I wonder, does the blood elf thing give them energy? You know, they're racial. I would assume so. From what little I've seen of it, it's been rebuilt multiple times to give new forms of energy or whatever, like runic power, mana, all that. But honey, but nothing else. Sometimes they have the bodyguards with them, but not every time. Which, oh, found one. Damn, that did a bit of damage. But seriously, that didn't really have that much fuel. Come on. Am I just fucking up here or what? There's like never been another quest in Warlords of Draenor that's been it's such a pain in the ass to get, to deal with. Everything's been quite easy to actually find. What's that? Solar Spire Hawk. That sounds pretty cool in all honesty. Um, Also, the trading post to get level 3, it has been changed, presumably in 6.1, so that you only need to get one exalted faction. Previously, you had to get 3. And considering they've removed dailies and tabards, you can't really do it. Well, tabards are still in the game, but they're back to Burning Crusade style rather than Wrath of the Lich King. For those not in the know, there is a difference. Burning Crusade style means that it's for looks. Wrath of the Lich King means you slap on the tabard and once you reach friendly, and now whenever you run a dungeon, you get rep with that faction. Burning Crusade style has been gone since no. Wrath of the Lich King style has been gone since Cataclysm, I think. No, not Cataclysm, Miss Pandaria. And now, after Miss Pandaria, we now have no dailies. To be honest, I didn't mind having dailies. Especially the Miss Pandaria style, because when you reach certain levels of rep, you got a question. It gave more content to the game. Because now, we just have grinding. And if I want to grind, I have no problem with that. I got my way to Exalted with Centurion Circle by just farming Syphilis mobs and turning in what they dropped. That's it. I didn't do any. I did a fair few quests, and I also ran some dungeons, but I did it a slow way because I actually found it kind of a slowish way because I found it fun. But when but I vastly over leveled it, and it was, it's a different situation. In these cases, I'll prefer a little bit more content. Makes it a bit easier to talk about rather than me just having to complain for 2 hours. Because I'm not sure how much of me complaining is actually interesting. I was going to use another word for it, kvetching, but I'm not sure if that's correct pronunciation. Seriously, who has the fucking journal? Once, at some stage, I'll be done with the um, what would you call it? Trading post. I'll be done with there, and I'll go get the uh, lumber mill. I'm holding on to the barn. Uh, the barn is too useful since I have actually crafting professions that I'm using. Some people, I bet, don't bother with crafting professions. They're not interested. Um, Maybe they just gather or ignore that part of the game. Who knows? But I need that blood that you get from the barns. Well, there's alternate ways of getting it now, more so than 6.0. It's easier to just have a level 3 barn. You go around, you farm a bit, you'll get a couple of elites. You're fine. The other ways consist of using like primal spirits and buying it. Um, you could buy it off the auction house. If I was an alchemist, I could make it myself. I can transmute it. Um, but now that the garrison campaign is done, the only question and like quest stuff I have left is the what would you call it? The legendary quest. And really, with such a thing that requires you to wait up to 5 weeks to finish one of the quests, it's not really something that is going to hold my in that I'm enjoying really. Because I want to move on and see what else is there, but I can't because I have a bit to go, and I know I should have been being more dedicated to doing it, but what you gonna do, eh? Brittle bark. Damage taken increased by 50%. That is not just 50 points. That'll be an interesting debuff. Purely because we're like dealing with the thousands, and an extra 50 points doesn't really seem like a big deal. Fuck. I got so fucking many Divine Storms. How low is the drop rate on this blasted thing? I'm gonna go check Wowhead. Grinning TOLG. Okay, let's try the BattleNet on Europe. Other people are complaining about it. Apparently, only 6 orcs are here that dropped the item. Apparently, you have to get journal pages. And they proclaim the quest challenging. No, it would be nice to have challenging quests, yes. This isn't challenging. This is an exercise in tedium. Uh, it's just, yeah, no. If there's truly only 6 orcs, and that seems approximately right, then this is just poorly designed. What would it possibly been better? You know the, let's see, Everbloom. See the, damn it, Everbloom, Ancient Protectors. You know the orc here. Have them have the journal. See, problem solved. Here, 1 second. Just have them have the journal. Or basically run, like just have it in the Everbloom itself. There's more orcs in there than there are out here. And it just, there really isn't that many orcs. Like, and they're kind of all over the place, so it's harder to like keep an eye, see if they've spawned where. So, which wouldn't be much of a problem if there's more of them, because you have plenty to pick from. Palnai. Fucking last. This must be the remains of the grinning Tog, the last orc to see the Skull Taker. His writings speak of an elixir that must be concocted from local flora, which should help track Skull Taker down. Grinning Tog was in the process of brewing an elixir which will allow him to communicate with Ravagers, whom the Skull Taker relies on to remain hidden. The first ingredient, the leaves of the shade thistle plant, can be found nearby. The journal reads, "It rests in the shadow of the harsh Goron sun. I saw some under the stones near the black iron walls. I am gonna mosey this way. I'm not quite done with this, but I can go anywhere now. Raid. No, not Iron Assembly. Not interested. Black Hand's thing, Crucible hasn't come out on the left looking for a group yet. I know I'm missing a key right now, but I'll work with what I got. There's quite a few of the Blackrock here, which makes sense because it sounds like he was describing Horde place. An Iron Horde place, sorry. These things actually seem to do a fair bit of damage, if you could just get the enemies to line up properly. And here, if you're down here, there seems to be a fair few of them. I'm not sure who I prefer to win in a fight. The Iron Horde or the Botani. Neither would be really a good option. Reason being is if the Iron Horde, let's say, was able to wipe out the Botani and safely take their territory, that would be bad. That gives them more power. There's the Shade Thistle. That gives them much more power. Because they have more resources with which to put their army together. Okay, these require inventory space. And if they could actually make more of an army, then that's dangerous. Then again, they don't really seem to be short on resources, but the point stands. It's always good to have more resources. Though they actually mentioned having multiple continents. There was, remember the orc I got as my follower? He mentioned fighting on multiple continents. It sounded like from a few expansions ago, what our career would have sounded like. Fought on multiple continents, involved in numerous wars, that kind of thing. Yeah, seriously. There's multiple continents. Does the Iron Horde have presence there? From the sounds of it, probably. But we don't know. I want to see the rest of the world. The Skull Taker lives. I cannot mistake the twisted horns of his cursed mask, nor the demon eyes that peer from within. He had taught himself escape from the fury of the laughing skull, would none take lives of our clan without retribution, not even one of our own. Long has the Skull Taker hunted his fellow orcs without reprisal. One sec. I saw the day he donned the bloodthirsty skull that consumed his savage heart. None knew where he found the cursed thing, only that it had claimed the warrior's soul. Now he lives only to take the skulls of the living, a silent spectre of death. Now the Skull Taker hunts in Everbloom, and I have caught his scent. No longer will he be the hunter. Soon it will be his skull that is taken. The foe remains elusive. When I think I have found his path, his tracks vanish. It is as if he had sprouted wings and taken to the sky. He looks to be retreating among the ravagers and wasps of Everbloom. I must find where he is going. It's a good thing it's in common, or in English. I've lost him. I tracked his position and was ready to strike when a great ravager, twice the size of any I'd ever seen, swooped down and carried him away. I had taught him taken prey. Beast showed no intent to harm him. Taken for prey, beast showed no intent to harm him. This must be how the Skull Takers remained hidden from the blades of the laughing skull. I will not let him escape my wrath. I'll find a way to scour the skies. An elixir is the key. The crow feeder knows a recipe used by shaman to speak to the wilds. Using it, I'll pry the answers from the ravagers that have aided my enemy. I must cut the reagents from the hands of the wretched Botani, a task I will carry out gladly. I've set up camp in a nearby cave. When he said that, all I could think of is there's a Laughing Skull camp we walked into early on. I'll show you when you go out. We walked in there and okay, let's just keep finding these. And they mentioned the person will be back soon or whatever. Part of me wonders, would that have been the orc I'm presently reading? There's no reason to suspect it is. But then again, there's also none to say it isn't. Then again, maybe it's just up to personal take. Of course, maybe the Horde has some quests there, and as such, it couldn't be this orc if the cave's owned by someone else.